What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise series. In this one, we've got the opening day game against the Cleveland Indians. We got Michael Fulmer on the mound against Corey Kluber of the Cleveland Indians. So, guys, 25-man roster is officially set. I went ahead and did this manually, so the Tigers did not do so well during spring training, but you know, it was one of those deals. It is spring training. It's not that big of a deal. You're just trying to see what you got with your minor leaguers and just trying to get some guys some work. But you guys can see the starting pitchers on the 25-man roster. So the guys that made it. Marco Guzman did not make it. He had about a 6 ERA in spring training, so he did not fare too well. Neither did Vernon Geary. So he's been kind of bouncing back and forth, but in our franchise in this series, between major league and minor league. Sometimes he's up, sometimes he's down. It just really depends on how he's feeling, I guess. He just hit a little rough patch. But you guys can see Kyle Ryan decided to move him down to AAA, and then Tyler Chatwood was called up. So he's obviously a major league caliber type of pitcher. So I didn't anticipate him going down to the minor leagues whatsoever. But it was a close race for relief pitchers. So you guys can see that Pablo Sanchez ended up making the team. Robbie Esposito is now in AAA, trying to get him some more at-bats. We probably could have used him at third base with Alex Bregman's injury. But, you know, with Profar, Rutledge, Nunez, those guys can play third base as well. But we just decided to go a different route. So Alex Linder, actually, we're going to give him a shot, guys. He's 29 years old, 77 overall. Felipe Gutierrez down in AAA, just trying to get his fielding numbers up. He is the #1 prospect in all of baseball, guys. So I wanted to get that in and show you guys that on this video, but I'll go back and I'll look at it in another video. But yeah, I was amazed. He is actually the #1 rated prospect in all of the major leagues. So that's good for us. That's good for us for the future. You guys can see the center field job is won by Michael Taylor. Both guys, Michael Taylor and Manuel Margot, only hit about 170 so in spring training. So it was not very good, but we'll just see how they do. I decided to go with Michael Taylor to win that job, though, just because, you know, he's obviously the better of the two from what I can play with him as. You know, he might not put up really good stats, but as far as batting average goes, but it's just something that I like to handle Michael Taylor when I'm playing. So guys, let's go ahead and get right into this gameplay. That is our pitching staff numbers last season. So we were second in the AL Central, about middle of the road in some of the categories in the major leagues as a whole. I thought our pitching was around there. We had, you know, some really low ERAs, high strikeouts, but a lot of walks, and most of that was due to Jose De Leon and Matt Moore. So hopefully those two guys can pick it up in this 2019 season. But we're looking forward to seeing Michael Fulmer in action because, guys, he had a stellar season in 2018. He just got hurt down the stretch. You guys remember that in the playoffs. He could not pitch for us, so we had to really rely on our depth guys and Joe Ross to carry us. So I'm anxious and I'm excited to see what a full season of Michael Fulmer is going to look like for us, especially if we can get into the playoffs again this season and really see him turn it on right then and there to hopefully try to win a back-to-back World Series championship. But this is not how you want to start it off here in 2019, as Francisco Lindor leads the Indians off with a solid single right back up the middle. He is still on first base. He does have a lot of speed, so you got to watch for him to steal. And then Nunez grabs this hot shot up the middle there. I wanted to go to second, but, you know, with Lindor's speed, I didn't think that Nunez's speed as well could get to second base in time and then try to get the out at first. So I just took the sure out and went from there. So Fulmer here against Edwin Encarnacion, the DH for the Indians, strikes out looking at a Fulmer changeup. Then we've got Jason Kipnis with Lindor at second base and a 2-2 count and he's going to lift a fly ball. A little lazy one for Randall Grichuk, and he's going to take care of business out there in left. So good inning. Good inning. All things considered, it was it got a little scary there for a second, especially when Lindor's leading that off with a hard hit single. But we made it out. We made it out alive. There is the starting lineup for the Tigers in this one. Profar batting 9th. Rutledge batting 8th. So I know he's mostly kind of a singles type of hitter. He does hit for some average. He hit .315 last season, so he had a really, really great year. Just against Corey Kluber, I don't like him higher in the order. I just want him to put the ball in play hopefully with some runners on base. So that will help the lineup. So going up against Corey Kluber, he's going to be a tough task. Does like to utilize the sinker and the curveball. The big looping curveball that he's got is just really hard to handle. Nunez pounds that sinker into the ground. Ramirez makes this play, and then a little line drive. I thought that was going to break a little in, but it did not. So Puig lines out to Ramirez at third, and then JD Martinez going to lift this little pop-up over there to left foul line, and it's going to get caught by Robbie Grossman. So Tigers no hits in the first inning, did not do anything. That was a pretty weak offensive inning. So we're looking to Fulmer to take care of business here in the top of the second inning, and Salvador Perez, yes, Salvador Perez, no longer a Kansas City Royal, he is a Cleveland Indian, but he's going to strike out here. And look at the show motion, not the slow motion, but just blew that fastball right by him. I love that pitch, high and inside on the righties with Fulmer, and then a changeup high and away to Carlos Santana and the lefties. So I love that pitch. I love that pitch sequence to the righties and lefties with Fulmer. But look at this shot by Valbuena. Is it gonna go? I didn't say the magic word, guys. I didn't say the magic word. No boosh on that play as Tyler Naquin makes this fabulous catch out there. And that little cutter that just got too much of the heart of the plate, and Valbuena just drived it out there to center. I thought it was going to get over Naquin's head, but he made a spectacular play. Michael Taylor up now with a 0-1 count, and he's going to send a gap shot out there to left center field, and it's going to go up against the wall and over. I should say over the wall, not up against the wall, for a double. So ground rule doubles. We got 2 outs now, 2-2 count, and McCann. Plate discipline, man, plate discipline. But a good pitch by Kluber, man. I mean, he's throwing a high fastball. It just looks too good coming out of his hand, and you just want to drive it. And you know, we were looking for another gap shot to drive Taylor home. So Rutledge up now. You guys remember me saying last year he had a stellar year, 15 home runs, 55 ribbies, and a .315 in a 1-1 count, and he is going to drive this high to left field, and it is gone. Boosh! Big shot for Josh Rutledge. He is coming back, guys. He's coming back. What a solid second baseman right there. You're looking at him. Look at the Tigers MVP. No, I'm just kidding. I might be getting way ahead of myself here, but that was his best season as a pro, was last season for Detroit. And to lead us off with our first run of the 2019 season off the Cleveland Ace as a solo shot, love it. Gotta love the production from Josh Rutledge so far. Hopefully he can keep that up all season long. But look at this play by Jose Ramirez, man. That little dive, man, to his left, spinorama, and then able to get Eduardo Nunez with that speed. That's about the only play that he could make, was that grab there, spin, turn, and throw. Came out of his hand 81 miles an hour. Man, I love Jose Ramirez, by the way. He's a really good player. So Tigers unable to scratch across another run after that solo shot, and then the Indians have another solo shot in this game. So Jason Kipnis, the other second baseman in this game, hits himself a solo shot. So this game is now tied 1-1, and that one was not a cheapie. He absolutely crushed that, 428 feet off of Michael Fulmer, and as you guys can see here, is right down the middle. 1-1 game, man. It's getting dicey here a little bit. McCann strikes out. on a 3-2 change. It looked like a changeup or a cutter. It was something off speed because it didn't look too hard coming out of his hand. It looked like the cutter right there. It just had a little bit of movement. 3-2 count. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We got Josh Rutledge up again, and he's going to strike out as well. So, guys, we got 2 straight strikeouts. Kluber is looking good. Fulmer is looking good himself. We got Jason Kipnis up again, and he's going to strike out on that same pitch that we threw to Carlos Santana earlier in the game. I love that pitch, guys. Change up to those lefties off a right-handed bat. And then look at this. Boosh! Valbuena comes on up after a JD Martinez walk, and Valbuena goes bomb. That's a huge shot off of Corey Kluber. A 2-run home run is going to put the Tigers up 3-1 now, and we're about midway through this game here. So all Fulmer needs to do now, he's got the lead. That's a 450-foot shot. That's humongous. Good job by Valbuena, man. He threw that little cutter that just caught enough of the meat of the bat. Does the work for you. So Kluber, his day is done. Pitched extremely well. Only 3 runs earned. I'd say that's a very solid performance. It's going to be a quality start registered for him. So Dan Otero is going to come on for the Indians, and you guys can see his numbers there. 3.57 with 88 innings pitched, strikeouts 53. So he had a pretty okay season, nothing too great. After, well, it looked like we got a runner on third here, and then Michael Taylor going to ground out. So, oh yeah, that was Grichuk, by the way, guys. So Grichuk actually hit a triple off of Kluber, and then Kluber was pulled. So that was the runner on third base. So Michael Taylor unable to come through. Top of the 7th with 1 down, and Fulmer is pitching a gem, guys. At this point, he's already through 6 2/3. If Taylor can secure this, and he does. So 6 2/3 are in the books for Fulmer. We're going to keep rocking him, though. We're going to keep rolling with him. He's got Lonnie Chisenhall up next with 0-0 count, 2 down, and he's going to lift a fly ball out there to center field, and Michael Taylor's going to grab this one as well. So we're going to head to the bottom of the 7th, guys, with a 3-1 lead. And we aren't going to show the Tigers batting because we got some trouble here as they are unable to score any more runs. It's still a 3-1 game. Fulmer left out there for the 8th, and he's going to get Naquin to strike out, and now he's got to deal with Edwin Encarnacion, who's also going to strike out, and this inning is over, guys. So trouble averted right there. We had the runner on second, runner on first. It was starting to get a little bit dicey there. 3-1 game here in the bottom of the 8th, and Valbuena is going to ground out. So bullpen for the Indians coming through. This is good for them. Got to stop the onslaught by the Tigers here. But we're going to go with Pablo Sanchez instead of Randall Grichuk, so we got a pinch hitter coming on because we want to see what the rookie's got. The 18-year-old kid who's 6'5". This guy's huge. He's going to be a player someday. So I'm looking because Grichuk strikes out a lot. I'm looking for some contact. I want Pablo Sanchez to get this base hit, but he's going to line drive it right to Lindor, who is sure-handed, and he's going to throw Sanchez out at first. So Indians, they hold. Got a 3-1 game here. 6 hits apiece. Manuel Margot takes over for Randall Grichuk, who was pinch hit for by Pablo Sanchez. We can't have Sanchez playing left field, so we put Margot out there. So Bruce Rondon, guys, 50 saves last season. He did not blow a single save. He was probably the best. Well, no doubt about it. You don't blow any saves. You have no losses on your record. Best reliever in the game last year. So he's going to get this easy out to Valbuena, and then this ground ball to Nunez, who makes this good throw across the diamond. Gotta love that. 2 quick, easy outs, and then we got Carlos Santana up next, and a 1-2 count, and the changeup. Expecting fastball, he gets the changeup, guys. The Tigers are gonna win opening day, game number 1 at home. Fulmer pitched insanely well, had 11 strikeouts in this game. Defense played really well, timely hitting, it was a really tough game against Kluber, so you got to just work the count on him, try to get a good pitch to hit, and just fight off all of the other junk that he gives you on the corners. So you get one right in your wheelhouse, you take it deep, man. That's what Valbuena did. So guys, we're gonna simulate. I hope maybe next couple weeks gonna simulate in this series just to see how we're doing. I do want to get this Tigers series wrapped up for 2019 and 2020 before MLB The Show comes out. MLB 18 The Show comes out on the 27th, I think it is, of this month. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing, if you're excited for the Tigers 2019 season, and if you're new to the channel, you like it, you love it, and you want more of it, you know what you gotta do. Hit that little red button for a subscribe or my logo, and I'll see you guys in the next video for our Tigers. Go Tigers! Like I said before, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.